The historic town of Halberstadt, located just north of the Harz mountain range in northern Germany, is steeped in Jewish heritage. First founded over 800 years ago, the Halberstadt Jewish community made up around 1/12 of the city's population by the 17th century, making it one of the largest in Central Europe.
Jews been living in Halberstadt from the end of the 12th century. And in all the history, there were better times, not so good times, but there was never a pogrom like in communities near the Rhine when all the communities were destroyed in the time of the Pestilencia or in the time of the Crusaders. And so Halberstadt Jews lived, all of the Jews in Halberstadt.
Particularly influential to the community was Berend Lehmann. During the 18th century, Lehmann handled the finances of many German nobility, including Prince-Elector Augustus the Strong. This status granted him special privileges, which he used to the benefit of the local Jewish community. He financed a Baroque synagogue and a school known as the Klaus Synagogue. It was continually occupied by two rabbis who spent their days contemplating the Talmud, further developing religious thought.
There were communities in Germany larger, but not so important for the Jewish thought and for the Jewish life. And so Halberstadt was very important, a small town, but a big community, not only by souls, also by wisdom and learning and studying. And so Halberstadt is, of course, something special. And all the descendants from Halberstadt, maybe the grandparents, were born in Halberstadt. Until this very day, they are living in England, in Israel, in America. Everyone is telling, we are descendants from Halberstadt.
Within Halberstadt, there are 3 historical Jewish cemeteries in need of maintenance. The first cemetery, which dates to the 17th century with around 270 surviving gravestones, was cleaned and documented by a European Heritage Volunteers project in 2018.
Then is that the 2019 volunteers will work at the second Jewish cemetery. It's a cemetery of the 19th century, and there are today around 400 gravestones. And the idea is to put away shrubbery, to clean the stones, and to make another documentary.
First we had to get rid of the vegetation to be able to access the graves and be able to document them. So that's how we sort of started. So this meant mowing the lawn and taking out weeds and all of those sort of things. And then we also cleaned the graves so we would be able to see better what the inscriptions on them or the decorations on them. And after this we could start documenting.
It's very interesting, the documentation part, learning how to describe things, learning the basic procedure of how to go about documenting on a site. The academic sphere and actually teaches you how to do things on a practical site, on like how heritage actually works beyond the classroom.
Documentation was facilitated by a special equipment provided by the Bettfehler Research Institute for Jewish Architecture at Technical University Braunschweig. They developed special technology in order to make heavily weathered inscriptions more legible, which was field tested during a project.
We are trying to document the gravestones with new techniques. We are trying to scan them, but with a 3-dimensional scanner. We are using an ARTEC space spider for this purpose, and we're hoping that we will have an improvement, some better results from using this facility, this device, than doing just photographs.
The team at the Technical University in Braunschweig will fine-tune this technology so that in the future it can be implemented on a larger scale within Jewish cemeteries in Germany and beyond. In addition to the work in the cemeteries, volunteers had the opportunity to engage with students at a local Sephardic summer school. This exchange between members of the Jewish community and participants was an invaluable element of the program, as it provided context for volunteers about the importance of their work.
the Jewish families who had to leave Halberstadt during the Nationalsozialismus because they live in Israel, in the United States or in South America. They don't have today the possibility to take care of the graves of their ancestors. And for the family it's very important to see that nowadays young people do that work.
During the 2-week project, European Heritage volunteers successfully documented 320 gravestones from the 19th century cemetery, plus 40 others from the 17th century cemetery. Inscriptions, translated by the Moses Mendelssohn Academy, have already proved to be valuable to the genealogical history of the Jewish community in Halberstadt.
The European Heritage volunteers do a very good job. We hope that they like Halberstadt and the Academy so much that next year we will be able to host another group of volunteers, because we have a lot of ideas what could be done.